Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Millennium TV USA Daily News. This is Ifat Fatima with top stories. First appeals courtroom to weigh Donald Trump's resolution to finish DACA. South Africa remembers its ambassador to Israel. Devin Nunes' date of joining by no means ought to have opened counterintelligence right into a political social gathering. Romantic royal wedding ceremony stamps seal Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's love. Khulna City Corporation polls, voting comes to an end. And Israeli football club changes name after Donald Trump. Those were the headlines, now the detail. The Trump administration will attempt to persuade a U.S. appeals courtroom that it was justified in ending an Obama-era immigration coverage that shielded a whole bunch of hundreds of younger immigrants from deportation. The Ninth U.S. Circuit Courtroom of Appeals would be the first federal appeals courtroom to listen to arguments about President Donald Trump's resolution to section out the deferred motion for childhood arrivals program. DACA has protected some 700,000 individuals who have been dropped at the U.S. illegally as youngsters or got here with households that overstayed visas. 34 Chilean bishops summoned to the Vatican over a cover-up of sexual abuse by clergy began crisis meetings with Pope Francis that could result in a purge of Chile's Catholic hierarchy. We feel pain and shame, Fernando Ramos, an auxiliary bishop of Santiago, told a news conference ahead of the 3 days of closed-door meetings. The scandal has devastated the credibility of the church in the once staunchly Catholic country. It has also hurt the Pope's own image because this year he strongly defended a bishop accused in the alleged cover-up before reversing his position. Bishop John Ignacio Gonzalez of the city of San Bernardo said he could not rule out some of the tainted bishops resigning or being sacked, as many Chileans have demanded. South Africa has recalled its ambassador to Israel, and its worldwide relations minister Lindby Sisulu is condemning Israeli troops' use of lethal pressure in opposition to Palestinians. Professional Palestinian marches have been set to happen in Cape City in entrance of the U.S. consulate in Johannesburg and within the capital Pretoria amid some request the South African authorities to expel Israel's ambassador. Sisulu stated she had phoned U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to voice South Africa's unhappiness with the violence. South Africa's three largest political events, the ruling African Nationwide Congress, the Democratic Alliance, and the Financial Freedom Fighters, joined the federal government in condemning the violence on the Gaza border. Representative Devin Nunes stated that he desires to learn how the division of justice determined a particular counsel was vital to analyze the Trump marketing campaign. What we are trying to do is get the documents to figure out what methods were used to open this counterintelligence investigation, Mr. Nunes, California Republican, stated on Fox Information. The congressman stated that testimony from Fusion GPS founder Glenn Simpson indicated there was a supply inside the Trump marketing campaign leaking info for the unverified file. He added that the entire state of affairs appears to be dangerous for the Justice Division and will even recommend they had to be setting Mr. Trump up. The royal wedding ceremony of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's merchandise has the official seal of approval. Britain's postal service, the Royal Mail, is commemorating nuptials between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle with the discharge of a particular set of postage stamps that includes two of the couple's engagement pictures. New York-based Vogue photographer Alexei Lubomirsky took the photographs at Frogmore home in Windsor in December. Not only was it an incredible honor, but also an immense privilege to be invited to share and be a witness to this young couple's love for each other. Lubomirsky, who additionally has been invited to the ceremony at St. George's Chapel in Windsor, stated on the time. The state affords Democrats the chance to select up as many as 5 seats from Republicans in congressional elections in November, analysts mentioned. Democrats want a web hole of 23 to imagine the home majority, which might possibly derail Republican President Donald Trump's coverage agenda. Pennsylvania's politics had been thrown into turmoil earlier this year when the state's Supreme Courtroom discovered that the present congressional districts had been unconstitutionally tailor-made to favor Republicans. The red-drawn map has made some districts extra aggressive. As well as 6 incumbent home Republicans usually are not operating for re-election, additional scrambling the races and requiring voters to develop into aware of a raft of first-time candidates. Some 81 candidates are operating for 18 congressional seats, together with 10 Democrats in a single race. A botched tunnel collapse could spread radioactive debris. Nuclear material might be buried but accessible enough to be dug up and reused in a weapon. And even if all the testing tunnels are destroyed, North Korean engineers could simply dig a new one if they want to conduct another nuclear test. Disarmament experts have raised many such scenarios after North Korea said over the weekend that it would use explosives to collapse the tunnels of its Punggye-ri nuclear test site next week. Pyongyang has publicly invited international media to witness the destruction but not technical inspectors, leaving disarmament experts and nuclear scientists wondering how effective the plan is and whether it will be safe. Recent reports indicate that some areas of the Punggye-ri test site have become unstable after the latest and largest nuclear test in September. The parents of Indonesian children and young adults who took part in deadly suicide bombings in Surabaya had isolated them within a tightly knit circle of militant Islamists, police said recently. A family of 6 killed at least 13 people, including themselves, by bombing 3 churches in Surabaya on Sunday, in the worst militant attack in the world's biggest Muslim-majority country since the bombing of restaurants in Bali in 2005. On Monday, another militant family of 5 riding 2 motorbikes blew themselves up at a police checkpoint in the city, wounding 10 people and killing 4 of the family and 2 others. An 8-year-old daughter survived. Thousands of Gaza residents turned out for the funerals of Palestinians killed by Israeli troops a day earlier, while on the Gaza-Israel border, Israeli forces prepared to face the expected final day of a Palestinian protest campaign. The latest violence on the border, which took place as the United States opened its new embassy in Jerusalem, was the bloodiest for Palestinians since the 2014 Gaza conflict. The death toll rose to 60 overnight after the 8-month-old baby died from tear gas that her family said she inhaled at a protest camp. More than 2,200 Palestinians were also injured by gunfire or tear gas, Palestinian medics said. Palestinian leaders have called the events a massacre, and the Israeli tactic of using live fire against the protesters has drawn worldwide concern and condemnation. A teenager was left with a knife embedded in her cheek after she was attacked by a robber as she walked down a dark alleyway. The 19-year-old has finished work last night when the robber confronted her in the dark. The man allegedly grabbed the girl's handbag, but she resisted. He then grappled with her before plunging the kitchen knife into her face and fleeing with her valuables in Bukit Tengah, Malaysia, reports the Mirror. Brutal footage from the scene shows her calmly sitting on a wall with the weapon sticking out just below her right eye while passers-by come to her aid. Police say the girl, who was not named, was still conscious and rushed to Bukit Martyrdom Hospital, where she was recovering after the attack. Viewers, now going for a short break. We will be right here with the headlines. Widespread irregularities in Khulna City Corporation polls, alleges BNP. Agents being forced out from Khulna polling centers, Manju. Education Minister Nurul Islam Nahid sees progress in education.
Al-Aqsa হালাল মিট অ্যান্ড সুপারমার্কেটে আমরা বাংলাদেশ, সাউথ এশিয়া, আফ্রিকা সহ বিভিন্ন দেশের খাদ্যদ্রব্য সঠিক মূল্যে বিক্রি করে থাকি। এখানে পাবেন হালাল বিফ, গোট, চিকেন, ফ্রোজেন ফিশ, ফ্রেশ ভেজিটেবল, কুকিং অ্যাক্সেসরিজ, বিভিন্ন ব্র্যান্ডের কসমেটিক্স এবং গিফট আইটেম সহ নানা সামগ্রী। Al-Aqsa Halal Meat and Supermarket, 2109 Starling Avenue, Bronx, New York, 10462.
Information technology, IT. IT is wow. It's stuff your parents haven't even thought of yet. IT is moving, it's mixing, sharing, and more. IT is solving a problem, thinking and processing. IT is making money, saving lives, changing the world. It's a living, it's a life. IT is in your pocket. It's at your fingertips. It's here, there, and everywhere. IT is on CSI, in business, in the lab, it's in the hospital, on the radio, in the movies.
Welcome to Concord IT Development, Total IT Solution. Our services: web development, dynamic web solution, application development, domain registration, web hosting, network solution. We are available on 37-47 73rd Street, Newark, USA. Concord IT Development, Total IT Solution.
ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট,
একটি স্বপ্নের ঠিকানা, একটি সুন্দর আবাসস্থল। ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট আপনার স্বপ্নের বাস্তব রূপ দেয়।
নতুন ডুপ্লেক্স, অ্যাপার্টমেন্ট, কমার্শিয়াল বিল্ডিং নির্মাণের জন্য নির্ভরযোগ্য একটি প্রতিষ্ঠান।
ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট,
অত্যাধুনিক ডিজাইন, সর্বশেষ প্রযুক্তির সমন্বয়ে আমাদের কর্মতৎপরতা কনক্রিট, সিমেন্ট আর ইস্পাতের মজবুত বন্ধনে
গড়ে উঠুক আপনার বাড়ি। রোদ বৃষ্টি সহ সকল বৈরিতার বিরুদ্ধে করি সঠিক ট্রিটমেন্ট।
আপনার শহরের প্রাইম লোকেশনে রয়েছে আমাদের অ্যাপার্টমেন্ট।
আপনার কষ্টার্জিত টাকা এবং আমাদের নির্ভেজাল শ্রমে নির্মিত হোক আপনার স্বপ্নের বাড়িটি। আপনার জীবন হোক সুন্দর এবং আনন্দময়।
আমাদের ঠিকানা ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট, 211 ইস্ট 43 স্ট্রিট, সুইট বি, 507, নিউ ইয়র্ক, NY 10017, ফোন 718-893020।
ইমেল friendsdevelopment@optimum.net। নিশা ট্রেডিং একটি আন্তর্জাতিক মানের গার্মেন্টস প্রোডাক্ট আমদানি ও রপ্তানিকারক প্রতিষ্ঠান। ইউরোপ, এশিয়া ও আমেরিকা সহ বিশ্বের নানা স্থানে বাইং, মার্চেন্টাইজিং এবং ম্যানুফ্যাকচারিং করে থাকে। সর্বাধুনিক প্রযুক্তিতে তৈরি বিভিন্ন ডিজাইনের পোশাক বাজারজাতকরণ এবং বিপণন এই প্রতিষ্ঠানের লক্ষ্য। প্রতিষ্ঠানের বৈশিষ্ট্য: উন্নতমান নিশ্চিতকরণ, টেকসই পণ্যের নিশ্চয়তা, নির্ধারিত সময়ে পণ্য সরবরাহ, লেনদেনের স্বচ্ছতা ও বিশ্বস্ততা। যোগাযোগের ঠিকানা: USA কর্পোরেট অফিস, 1747 থার্ড স্ট্রিট সুইট 215, জ্যাকসন হাইট, নিউ ইয়র্ক, NY 11372। বাংলাদেশ কর্পোরেট অফিস, বাড়ি নং 145, 7ম তলা, রোড নম্বর 12, ব্লক জি, দক্ষিণ বনশ্রী, খিলগাঁও, ঢাকা 1219।
Voting in the Khulna City Corporation election concluded on Tuesday amid the allegations of capturing some polling stations, vote fraud and violence in some areas. The voting was suspended in 3 polling centers due to violence, capturing of polling stations and forced balloting, reports the UNB. The polling that began at 8 a.m. concluded at 4 p.m. without any break. The turnout of voters was said to be around 50%. Returning officer Yunus Ali said voting in 2 polling centers, Labanchora Government Primary School and Ward number 31, Ward Councillor Office under Ward number 31, were suspended around 2:20 p.m. due to snatching of ballot papers and forced balloting. Besides, voting was suspended at Khulna Government Iqbal Nagar School Center in Ward number 24 following snatching of ballot papers by miscreants around 10:30 a.m., said presiding officer Khalilur Rahman. BNP alleged that ruling party men resorted to various irregularities in 50% of polling stations in the ongoing Khulna City Corporation polls. As per the information we have received so far, ruling party men indulged in various irregularities including forcing out of our polling agents, stuffing ballots, assaulting and intimidating our supporters in about 50% of the total voting centers, said BNP Senior Joint Secretary General Ruhul Kabir Rizvi. Speaking at a press conference at BNP's Neapolitan Central Office around 12 noon, he also alleged that the Election Commission is working in favor of the ruling party mayoral candidate instead of taking action against the polls' irregularities. The commission has turned out to be a one-eyed man. BNP mayoral candidate Nazrul Islam Manju alleged the ruling party men have driven out his polling agents from at least 20 centers of the ongoing Khulna City Corporation elections. The contender came up with the allegation after casting his vote at Rahima Government Primary School polling center around 8:45 a.m. Manju also alleged that his agents were obstructed to enter in the polling centers of Ward number 22. Besides, the ruling party man also beat one of his polling agents at Zila School Center, alleged Manju. However, he said that he will wait until the end. Education Minister Nurul Islam Nahid said that the country attained great improvement in the education sector. It has been possible to ensure nearly 100% enrollments in schools, reducing gender discrimination at primary and secondary levels, said the minister while addressing the launching of a publication, Global Education Monitoring Report 2017-18. at the Bangladesh Bureau of Educational Information and Statistics conference room in the city, reports the UNB. UNESCO Dhaka office and Bangladesh UNESCO National Commission jointly organized the event. Now more girls are in the educational institutions up to the secondary level. Bangladesh is working to achieve the United Nations SDG target for improving the quality of education by 2030, said Nahid. The Appellate Division of Supreme Court on Tuesday set Wednesday to deliver its order on the 2 leave to appeal petitions filed challenging BNP chairperson Khaleda Zia's bail granted by the High Court in the Zia Orphanage Trust graft case. The 4-member bench of the Appellate Division, led by Chief Justice Syed Mahmood Hossain, fixed the date to deliver its verdict after hearing Tuesday's arguments. Earlier in the morning, the Attorney General appealed to the Appellate Division for holding more arguments in the case. On May 9, a 4-member Appellate Division bench, led by Chief Justice Syed Mahmood Hossain, fixed Tuesday, that means today, for delivering the order after closing a 2-day hearing on the 2 petitions. On May 8, the Supreme Court adjourned until May 9 the hearing on the petitions filed by the Anti-Corruption Commission and the state against Khaleda Zia's bail. On March 19, the Appellate Division stayed Khaleda Zia's bail until May 8 in the graft case in which she was convicted by the lower court. Cabinet Secretary Mohammad Shafil Alam said the decision over quota reform will be known soon. No decision was taken at the meeting over quota system, but it is in progress. It might happen in the next few days, said the Cabinet Secretary Mohammad Shafil Alam at a briefing after the cabinet meeting held at Bangladesh Secretariat with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in the chair. So far, I have heard that the summary of the proposal regarding quota issue has already been sent from the Public Administration Ministry and the decision will be known soon, he said. Earlier in the day, quota protesters blocked the Shahbag intersection, one of the city's busiest areas, demanding immediate issuance of gazette abolishing quota system in government jobs. Viewers, now Millennium Business News. Wall Street opened lower on concerns over lack of progress in US-China trade talks and investors assessing US retail sales data that showed moderate gains last month. The Dow Jones Industrial Average (DJI) fell 89.86 points or 0.36% at the open to 24,809.55. The S&P 500 SPX opened lower by 11.54 points or 0.42% at the 2,718.59. The Nasdaq Composite IXIC dropped 50.01 points or 0.67% to 7,361.3 at the opening bell. Viewers, now Millennium Sports News. Jerusalem's leading football team announced it was changing its name to Better Trump Jerusalem on Sunday as Israel's basket in national pride and pro-American fervor in preparation for the controversial U.S. embassy move to the disputed city. Palestinians rallied for their own protests over the embassy's inauguration, including another mass demonstration in the Gaza Strip near the border with Israel. Donald Trump's daughter Ivanka and her husband Jared Kushner, both White House advisors, arrived in the country a day ahead of a ceremony to open the embassy. Better Jerusalem, which has won 6 Premier League titles, said it was changing its name in honor of Trump's historic decision, reports The Telegraph. For 70 years, has Jerusalem been awaiting international recognition until President Donald Trump, in a courageous move, recognized Jerusalem as the eternal capital of Israel, it said in a statement on its Facebook page. Shashank Manohar will serve a second term as the independent chairman of the International Cricket Council (ICC) after he was the sole nominee put forward by the ICC board. Manohar, who became the first independent ICC chairman in 2016, will continue for a second 2-year term following his unopposed election. During the last 2 years, Mr. Manohar has led significant reform of the sport, reversing the resolutions of 2014, introducing a revised governance structure, including the appointment of the ICC's first independent female director and the development of international cricket structures that bring context to the global game and provide more opportunities for more members to compete, reports ICCcricket.com. Before ending, the headlines are once again. First appeals courtroom to weigh Donald Trump's resolution to finish DACA. South Africa remembers its ambassador to Israel. Devin Nunes' date of joining by no means ought to have opened counterintelligence right into a political social gathering. Romantic royal wedding ceremony stamps seal Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's love. Khulna City Corporation polls voting comes to an end. And Israeli football club changes name after Donald Trump. This is all for now from Millennium TV USA Daily Newsroom. To get any kind of news, please log into our social website facebook.com/Millennium TV USA and youtube.com/Millennium TV USA. Moreover, to get the most updated news, please visit to our website www.millenniumtv.org and www.millenniumtvusa.com. Stay with Millennium TV USA. Allah Hafiz.